Are you seriously criticizing my self-expression right now? Because that's super problematic and it's really not okay. You are 100% invalidating me, and I literally cannot even. Maybe next time you should check all 452 intersectional dimensions of your obvious privilege. And after that, if you still believe you have something to say, our community backlash will force you to apologize. Oh, I am so incredibly, remarkably, abundantly triggered all the time. My virtue signal's always shining bright, and I am so amazingly, impossibly, outrageously triggered all the time, all the time. How can we even still be having this discussion? Your prejudice is evident from your profile pic. It's like I'm wasting my time. I mean, you're wasting my time, and I literally cannot even. How dare you have opinions? No, I'm serious, cause opinions have always historically been tools to reinforce oppression. You should only engage in environmentally and culturally sensitive activities, such as dying. Oh, I am so incredibly, remarkably, abundantly triggered all the time. My virtue signal's always shining bright, and I am so amazingly, impossibly, outrageously triggered all the time, all the time. Super serious.
Late Night.
Welcome to Liberty Late Night. I'm Mary.
And I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
He has now.
Dave.
This is Dave. Yes, happy Friday, everybody. It's July already. I'm like, it begins with a J. I can see it down there. It says July. Oh, I'm sweaty. Are you sweaty?
I don't trust these mics.
I feel like...
like if I'm really close, it's really loud. But if I'm right here...
Can you guys hear me?
See?
Do I sound better?
Or
is that too loud?
Destroying it.
Oh, I'm wrecking it?
I don't know. Then that's too low.
I don't even know. Yeah, wow, thanks, Devin. Thank you. I got to scroll up here to see who is here because we had to run up and get our earbuds because we took them up the other day.
Which
and then
my original
forgot
ones
to.
are missing.
Yeah. So, hello, Chaz. Hi. What's up? Jacob. Celeste is here. Do you want to push a button when I say
Oh,
yeah. Names?
Yeah.
Jerry. Jerry Hill. How you doing? Hi, Matt. Matt Lacey. Keith is here. Yay. Stop your feet. Oh, nice blessings in the house.
I'm seeing that.
David Andrew Gay. Hi, Joe. Trisha, what's up? How you doing?
Well, she said you said Jerry. No.
Jerry Hill over. Well, I don't know where it is, but yeah. Mike is here. How you doing, Mike?
Jerry needs a button.
Jerry needs a button. Hey, Steven, how you doing? All right, Syria. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Please, please forgive me.
Looks like
yes, Syray. Yes. Aaron's here.
Oh, Aaron. Is that Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
I know,
Well, that's nice.
we all might have been exposed to extremist content, so everybody take cover. Oh, wow, Trisha's ready for a violent extremism.
What are we talking about?
Ryan's here, Ryan Edwards. He's the one who got in touch with Spike to come back on again.
Yes,
so thank
he
you
is.
so much, Ryan. We super appreciate that. Hi, Tori. Yay, Tim. Tim has the baby. Tim needs a button pushed.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have
we
a
got-
button.
we
And
got
Carl's here. Wait, you hung up on who's
Kevin!
this today? What? All right, you saw Ray. We played Ray's
Carl!
button. Okay, Charles.
I know you've
Frederick,
done something.
hello. Okay. Oh boy, I'm gonna try really hard. Sylvanus? Did I say it right? I hope so. I'm also dyslexic, so don't hate on me, everybody. Hi, Patricia. Yay. Okay, Dottie's in the house too. All right, I'm sweating. I'm sorry. There's like no. It's very
Yeah,
humid
I don't know if
today.
it's warmer outside or inside.
I don't know. It's cool, but it's humid, so I'm sticky, and this chair feels short, and it's bothering me. So, all right. So we got to everybody there. Baby is fussy, but we're fine. Oh, yeah, baby's going to fuss. You know, that's how they do. So,
He's fussy because he's a baby.
Yeah. So we got Slither over there on float. Anybody on the other one?
Nope. Hello,
okay.
Michael.
Good. Yes. Hi, Michael.
Are we all here?
I think so. Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's really good to see everybody. Yeah. I feel like it's been a long time, but it hasn't been a long time. Has it? I mean, it's Friday. I don't
Then-
know. Did the week
No,
just-
we missed Tuesday.
We missed Tuesday. That's
what
right.
happened.
Because Tuesday we were on Clubhouse with
A bunch of other
some other
podcasters.
podcasters like Trisha and Spike and a bunch of other people, which was a ton of fun. And I was just like very humbled to be like on the stage with, you know, those folks. Like, we just come and hang out and, you know, talk to people.
If you are fully vaxxed, you can continue to view extremist content.
Ah, very nice. Yes, Clubhouse. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We
that
had
keeps
a good
me up
time.
way too late.
Very, very late. Very, very late. So,
Oh,
Tuesday went well.
David had a request.
David. We love David.
Yes.
No, he wanted. Wait, where's it at?
Hey, Garrett, what's up? Oh, the extreme heat. I know.
I just
you guys
wanted
are
to
getting kicked.
remind you guys to tell them about the Liberty Memes $5 charity club.
Okay.
I'll go.
What's going on in there? Yeah.
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 Thanks, dude.
Do my dishes.
Yeah. No, they're not bad. I can't keep up with the
Can't
kids
keep
and
up.
all of the dishes that they want to
So
constantly.
what the Liberty Memes $5 charity club is the one they're working on right now is the 10-year-old with cancer, fighting stage 4 cancer, I think.
Yes. Hi, Craig.
So if you're
they're
not-
like so close to hitting goal, you know. So head over there and you know, donate. It's $5 once a month to one charity or more if you feel so inclined and are able to. Nobody's gonna
Some people
stop you.
choose to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, but
We
some
prefer people that like to go above and beyond.
No, if you
Okay.
can't, it's hard times, you know. But $5, you know, like if you can do the $5, everybody does $5. Goals are getting crushed, y'all. So
Crushed. Lives are getting changed.
yeah. So welcome to the Extremist Show gathering, fun times.
we even get a thing when you try to like our Facebook page.
What's that?
When you try to like our Facebook page, you get a warning that we may share content that goes against community standards.
Yeah.
Holy
Yep.
cow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people
absolutely.
here.
Oh, hi. Wow, I didn't even realize.
We didn't look at the count. I mean, relatively a lot for us.
These are not the extremists you're looking for, right? Yeah.
A lot of memes. A lot of good memes coming out.
Let's see about this group. Oh, wow. Thank you. That's awesome, Dadman.
If you expected Spike to come on right at
nice.
9:30, I
Carl.
apologize. we have a little stuff we like to do at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to do? Or we're gonna do the wheel? Do you have the gift that we're gonna give away?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just do this real quick because it's bothering me? I have a fuzzy there, and it was like really. Yes.
I like it when you groom me.
I know, but not in front of other people.
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna
Makes
start
me
picking
feel-
at it. No, I'm
yeah.
joking.
It's something in your ear.
No, I'm not. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So go ahead. What were we gonna say? What are we giving away? Do the
Oh,
wheel?
oh yeah.
We do a thing
okay.
once a week. Every Friday, we give away a small gift to our Patreon members. And
One of them.
Yeah, to one
Each
member.
Friday.
Yes. So we spin a wheel.
One member every Friday, same guy.
One. Yeah.
No.
Same member. You're the one who usually says all
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so this week we're giving away a little toy drone because we were fun. We got them for our kids for Christmas.
Oh, how fun!
and they're actually really cool. So
Yeah.
we're going to give away a small gift. Say thank you to one of our patrons.
Yes, so Dave's going to pull up the wheel.
Oh, let me get this scene
And
right in here.
we're going to go ahead and do this.
Where's the button?
You know, you wouldn't know that we were actually prepared for the show, just the
Oh, yeah,
earbud
I'm
things.
super prepared.
But really, getting the kids to bed, it's always a little cray-cray. I always come down here just a little bit sweaty. Yes. Hello, Michael! Yeah!
So, if you're here right now and you're enjoying yourself so far and you're excited to see, if you're excited to see Spike come on, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Unless you're on Float, then you don't have to hit anything because there's no algorithms over there. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on does Twitch have a like button? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hit the
I've
like
never
button.
really been on
YouTube.
Twitch, but we stream on Twitch.
All right, and if you continue to like what we're doing and you want to encourage us and support us, patreon.com/Liberty Late Night. Here we go. See who wins this week.
Look at that. I don't know why I tried to look at that.
Celeste Annis is
Celeste
getting
Annis!
a drone.
Woo! You're gonna drone, baby!
That'll be fun. Fly around the little smokeless fire pit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So we
wouldn't
got
fly
your
into
address.
this.
We'll get Amazon to send that to you.
All right, and then
Aaron
real
says there's no
quick,
like button on Twitch. Okay.
you tell them about this.
Yes. Okay. So the movie wheel every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we show a movie with friends, and it's over on Float only. FLOTE. Check out Float if you're not over there yet. Get on Float. Super easy. Sign up with. Just make a username. You might put in an email. That's it.
Yeah, you get
know?
Bitcoin wallet.
They don't want all your information. You get a Bitcoin wallet. Go ahead and post and share and like and whatever you want to do over there. It's anarchy in its most beautiful state. So head on over to Float. But Sunday nights, follow Liberty Late Nights. We do a movie, and we're gonna spin the wheel to find out what that movie is. We watched Office Space last week. Hilarious. Love that movie. Yeah. Oh, so close to Beer Fest.
Encino Man.
Encino Man,
I haven't
though.
seen that
Really
since I
good
was a
movie.
kid.
Yeah, super pumped. Yep. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern Sunday on Float. Check it out. Yes. Beer Fest. Well, can't wait for that one to come up. I'm trying not to belch into the microphone because we have a guest.
Yeah, trying to be professional.
Trying to be a little professional. Yeah.
It's the weasel.
Oh my gosh, Pauly Shore. Yeah, that'd be fun to just have him on and be like, what's up?
What's up? What you been up to?
What you doing now? Yeah. Hi, Lyle. Do you want to hit Lyle's button if
Hold
we didn't
on.
already? Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I will. Just want to
That's
make
all right.
sure.
Dave's got buttons to push, so
not waiting or
yeah. I hope you
anything.
guys come watch the movie because
Oh.
we always have so much fun when we hang out with friends. It's just like being in a big living room together. Yeah. So David Matson.
Who am I hitting?
Yay. Oh no. Well,
Oh,
Lyle's
Lyle.
button.
I have
But
to
yeah,
hit
Lyle's here.
button. Do we have audio?
I hope so. Spike, can you hear me? Yay! Awesome.
Hey, Lyle.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, I forgot.
Dave will do a thingy.
There we go.
Hi,
All right.
you can see
Let
us.
me bring him
All
in.
right. Dave's gonna bring it down on the big screen here.
I should put like music here or something.
Something. Yeah. Hi, Kirk. What's going on over there? So, guys, we have Spike Cohen here again today for the second time. I'm so
Very
excited to
exciting.
have you back. Yeah. Thank
you for having me on.
We'd introduce you, but everybody knows who you are.
Everyone knows who you are. Yeah.
Tasha Cohen's spouse.
Yes, Tasha Cohen's spouse. That's
Yes.
who. That's what I should say there. Probably know the drill maybe from last time, but you talk to a lot of people, so maybe not. But if you see us like waving our hands and stuff, we have live chat down there, which I hope you can see. But we're always like waving to people and thumbs upping stuff. So I'm not just being weird, just so you know. Or but maybe I am. I don't know. So welcome
That's fine.
back.
That's
I know
fine. Yeah.
you are a busy man. You are busy. We were very honored to be considered a podcast, Libertarian podcast,
Yeah.
and be on the Clubhouse stage. And you showed up
Yes.
after 11, and you had been so like all day long talking, doing stuff. How is that a normal day for you? Because that is a lot.
Yeah, no, a typical day of mine in the morning, morning to early afternoon is when I'm first dealing with talking about upcoming social media content, planning that out, negotiating any kind of upcoming deals for events that I'm going to be doing. I get a briefing in the morning from Brian, who you've been dealing with, who tells me what I'm doing that day. And then unless I had early morning drive time interviews for radio, usually my first interviews start early afternoon, but sometimes they start first thing in the morning. The real fun ones are when the interviews, well, actually it's really bad when I'm on the West Coast. Like if I live in South Carolina, but if I'm in like California and there's like a 7 a.m. drive time hit on the East Coast, that means I have to be up at 4. So usually, I mean, this time of year, I might do 1 or 2 of those a week, but yeah, unless I'm doing one of those, and usually it starts around, I guess, right before lunchtime. And then I'm doing, throughout the day, I'm doing interviews and everything else, usually wrapping up with something or doing some content creation towards the end of the night. And then, of course, on the weekends, I have been in a different state every weekend except for, I think, 5 weekends this year so far.
Wow.
And I currently, not including this including this weekend for 4th of July, I have 4 weekends off, including this one, between now and Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Wait, but that's a lot of weekends that you don't have off.
Yes.
Like, so you get 4 of them off, but that's a lot. That's a big gap.
I focus on the positive.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, let's do
4
it.
weekends
4
off.
whole weekends.
Wow.
Until Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to look at the positive
row.
for that. That is
In
a lot.
Well, not.
Oh,
Not
never
in
mind.
a
I guess
Oh no.
in
I
a
lost
row.
track.
In a row during that time, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Some would say spread out over several weeks, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's. But I mean, and by the way, I'm not complaining. I signed up for this. I love it. It is why I
for
ran
sure.
for vice president.
Yep.
You know, I knew what our odds were of actually winning. I'm perplexed by previous libertarian candidates who they run and then they get whatever percent they get, and then they disappear and never come back. And I don't.
That's weird. Yeah.
Why did you? What
Why'd
was the point?
Yeah. Don't
Did you think you were going to
disappear.
win, and now you're mad and not going to talk to us anymore? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get why. But this was always my intention.
Yeah.
Leverage this, whatever attention I could get from the campaign,
Nice.
and parlay it into actually growing the liberty movement. So I'm happy to do it. I'm honored to have the opportunity to do it.
That's so great. I love that because, yeah, that is what happens with a lot of people. They run and then like, oh, you win, and you see that in across the board. But I think with libertarians, you need to get that. Okay, you have that fire. Don't like your
Yep.
plane's in the air. Don't like land the plane and then try to take off again in 4 years, and expect people to show up and be raw. Like you got to keep it going.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I
And
love
that's
that.
that's what the goal was. Is I was the one, I was one of the ones getting the text messages and the inbox messages on all my social media. What's next? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I had an answer for them. Well, we're going to start doing anti-lockdown protests. This is one that I'm going to in California. These are ones that I'm going to in other states. Next, we're going to be, as the convention season starts, go to your state convention. I'll be there either in person or by Zoom. There are very few conventions that I haven't at least Zoomed into this year.
Nice.
And so I'm like, go to your convention, be a part of that, find out what they need there at the state and local level. If I'm there at the convention, then, you can meet me in person and we can plan things out. Here are some homelessness outreach things that we're going to be doing across the country where we're going to, meet with nonprofits in different areas, help put together care packages and meals, go out to the homeless camps and distribute them out there. Here are the initiatives that we're going to build coalitions with other groups to do things like end qualified immunity, decriminalize drugs. These are the things that we need to do.
Yes.
Because it's great to say, yes, we're here to take over the White House and end the wars and end the Fed and end taxation and take over the world and leave everyone alone. We're not there.
Right.
We're not there.
Yeah.
Where we are is being able to do stuff at the local and statewide level now and not wait to take over the White House and Congress and everything else. We can start affecting change now. And in doing so, we kill one of the main narratives that people have about the Libertarian Party. I only hear about you for a few weeks every 4 years.
Yeah.
Show them all the time what we're doing. Be in their faces. Show them what and not in their faces in a combative way.
Sure.
Be in front of them,
Be in front
showing
of
them
them,
what
yep.
we're doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. So, to whatever extent I've been able to help people do that, I'm happy to do it.
That's wonderful.
You're
That
insane.
is.
You really are. I mean, like, to be just so driven just blows my mind. That's so awesome.
That's so great.
And
Yeah,
then
thank
and
you
you
for
you
what
are
you're
kind
doing.
of white hot even on social media right now. Like you popped into our little post and you commented, and I think you got more reactions
Everyone
on your
was like,
comment than the post had.
So something weird's happening on specifically on Facebook.
You're an algorithm buster.
We changed.
nice.
We changed to they called it the new pages experience. And it's basically they're trying to set it up like Twitter, where if I comment as my page on someone else's page or someone else's profile, all of my followers get notified about it.
Yeah, I see every single one.
Every time.
Okay.
Every time that I post something, all of my followers get notified of it. So I've got just over 116,000 followers, but our reach is in the tens of millions because every time I post something, all of my followers, unless they've unfollowed me, or not, well, I guess they wouldn't be one of my followers. All of my followers are getting notified in real time. So that's been great. We're doing pretty good on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and the rest, but on Facebook it's on a different level right now.
Yeah, it's weird. I get notified for everything. We're
enjoying it. We're enjoying that boost that we're getting,
Yeah.
and we're leveraging it to help other people's pages. So I'm following y'all. I'm following Fee. I'm following Hannah Cox, all the different Libertarian Party affiliates. All these different Libertarian and adjacent groups, and I'm commenting in their stuff to grow their reach and to help signal boost what they're doing, sharing their content, that kind of stuff. To whatever extent I can do this stuff, I'm happy to do it, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can.
That's great. That's
Actually,
so great.
I saw one of your comments came up on
I will.
my notifications that you commented on the Humans in New York page or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's
yeah.
neat and I'll see like you got 11,000 or something reactions on your comment on that, and it's neat because it's giving a libertarian message on just an out there platform where everybody's kind of looking at it, and it's not direct, it's not right in your face. It's showing empathy for the person they're talking about, but it is giving that anti-state message, and I really like that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, because you're getting a lot of
that's
views
kind
on
of
that.
That's sort of the two categories of what I'm doing. One is get signal boost for libertarians, like I was saying, and the other one is go on normie pages and say libertarian stuff, but without just being like taxation is theft. Which again, I'm a huge taxation is theft guy,
right.
but no one. You say that to the average person, and it doesn't emotionally connect with them. They go, okay, how are we going to pay for this and that and this and that? Maybe it's a good icebreaker, but. So, for example, the post you were talking about, it's a post about a guy who used to have all these hot dog stands all through New York, and he was called the Hot Dog King, and he was, taking over New York. And then they changed some of the rules so that he was able to do that because he was a disabled veteran. So he got like a break on the cost of the licenses, and they changed that to where he wasn't allowed to work anymore. And so he lost everything, and now he's illegally setting up his hot dog stand by the museum. He's been doing it for years now, and eventually they just kind of gave up on it because they kept having to try to throw him in jail and stuff. So here's a perfect message, a perfect anti-state, anti-government. Someone's just trying to get by. They're getting screwed over time and time and time again. Perfect. And all the normies are going, this is terrible. Oh, what a terrible thing. And so I just go in there and said, basically, we can't call ourselves the land of the free when you have government harassing disabled veterans for the crime of trying to get ahead in life.
Yeah.
12,000 reacts later, and if you look at all the comments, it's people going, if you ever run for president, I'm going to vote for you. They don't even know that I ran for vice president. They just like the comment, right?
Yeah.
So, these are the things
though.
that I'm using that signal boost for as long as I have it to push that on other things as well.
That's wonderful, because that is that little message that is like showing that compassion, and just kind of planting that little seed, and then people are like, yeah, you know what, he's right. I like that a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. I get.
All right.
Yeah.
So David Andrew Gay came in here and shared the stream with like 60 different groups and something like that, and he's requesting that we talk about it, the Liberty Memes $5 charity club, which we really like to talk about because it is changing lives.
I'm so excited that you got to meet. We call him Dadman, but that you got to meet David and talk with him about the Liberty Memes $5 Charity Club, because it's such a great idea and concept, and it's working and changing lives by voluntary action. You know, where people say, like, on the honor system, I will give like $5 once a month to one of the causes, and people end up giving more. Or they can only give $5, and that's okay because that's what you promised. You know, and so, but it's like it's changing people's lives on a variety of levels, you know, helping somebody get a van because they're wheelchair bound and they need a special van to get around, you know. Right now the current cause is for a little boy who's fighting cancer, you know, his name is James. And
James,
and for their family, because expenses get out of control and, you know, the bills don't stop just because your life has something terrible happen to it, you know. But I love the $5 Charity Club, and I'm so excited that you're a part of it.
Especially with your signal boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Because bumping is a big part of it.
Yeah, well, no, and I'm happy to do it. David first told me about the charity club back in, I believe it was October of it was when the campaign was still going.
Yeah. You guys were like in Texas together or something, right?
Yeah. We did an event in Texas back in October. It was October 17th in just outside of Houston. And then he came to a fundraiser I went to a couple days, the next day or a couple days later, and we talked more, and we got to talk about Liberty Memes $5 Charity Club, and I'm like, yeah, how can I help promote that? And so I put up some posts about it, and I occasionally post about it on the page, and I do a lot of, you know, bumping in the group, and of course, you know, giving my donation, so I'm not just a lurker. And you know, it's a cool thing, because what I like about it is not only is it, like you said, it's the honor system, but even the way that we kind of shame the lurkers is in a very playful way. Like, we aren't like, hey, schmuck, you know, why are you in this group if you're not giving? We make these memes and we're like, hey, lurkers, it's that time of the month, and, you know, stuff like that. And they're like, voluntarily. Okay, here's my $5. Like, it's even that's a playful way of doing it. And so it just shows that not only don't you need coercion, do you not need coercion to be able to help people, but you don't even really need to shame people. You can even just kind of, you know, gently razzle them a little bit and be like, hey, by the way, you know, it's that time to give or whatever. And I know it's not 100% participation, but it's pretty damn close. And it's, you know, a lot of people, what David has built there has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in everything from, you know, someone needing a few $100 for something to someone needing, you know, tens of thousands of dollars for something, and every single cause in between. And that doesn't include the Amazon wish lists that have been maxed out, you know, for different causes and different organizations. Like, it's just incredible what's going on in there. It's so inspiring to see. And I love that he made a point of saying, yes, there's an inherently political message behind this, that we don't need government, but we're not going to get in people's faces about it. We're not going to go, hey, look at me, I gave this to you, you didn't need welfare for that, in your face status. It's more like, hey, we're libertarians and we believe in voluntary human action. So here you go.
What we do. Yeah, exactly.
Like, literally, that's it. I love it. I love it.
I love it too, because nobody, you know, you don't have to have you say like, well, this is only for libertarians or anarchists, or, you know, because there's no like real political talk going on in there. It's just setting the example of this is what we believe in, so this is what we do. So anyone can be a part of it. And yeah, there's been hundreds of thousands of dollars raised. It's in cause 142, I think, right now. 142 causes.
Something like that,
And I just, it blows me away. Yeah, I love it.
Incredible.
And sometimes Facebook doesn't show people stuff. You ever have that happen?
What?
So I know sometimes the lurkers might not even know, you know, remember that, oh yeah, these things are going on, and Facebook hasn't shown anything to me in months, you know, and you just kind of get caught up in your own little world. And but if you're a part of it, go visit the page or the group all the time. Go to the group. Go to the group.
Go to the group and go to the settings, and under the follow set notification settings, pick the highest settings for everything. Because that's another part of it. If you leave it to Facebook, it puts that group more at the mercy of the algorithm, as opposed to if you say, I want to see every single post, I want to be notified on my phone, I want all that. it kind of bypasses that and makes it clear that you want to see it regardless,
Yeah.
and that helps a lot with the with the reach, at least for you, to be able to see everything that's in there. It's funny. I'm realizing as we're talking, this harmful extremist content, I think it's the lurkers. I think they're warning us about the lurkers, that there are these harmful extremist extremist lurkers that are, refusing to give their $5 for the month. No, I think it's incredible what David's doing with Liberty Memes and with the $5 chair. First of all, I've seen so many different acronyms.
Yeah.
I've seen LM5D.
Is that the?
And then I've seen. Is that the official one? LM5D.
I'll wait for him to come in.
Because I always am like LM.
I don't think there's a dollar
charity
sign.
Club. Yeah, I might.
Well,
see after
so
it,
I've seen like.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Okay, he's on our page.
LM5DCC.
Yeah, he's there. LM5D. Okay.
LM5D.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ray knows
All
too.
right.
Ray's involved. He knows what's up.
I like LM5DCC, whatever, like it, just make it like unnecessarily long,
And then throw in a Q and another one.
Whoa!
And a dollar sign, so I have the dollar, $5 and D just to be like redundant.
Oh my gosh, she had the dollar sign and then the D. Yeah, for.
That's like when somebody gets ducked and we say "rip in peace."
Yes, rip in peace, or ASAP as possible.
Right.
So I'd actually like to address this question here about
absolutely.
do I think John McAfee hung himself or bribed someone? If anyone could get away with bribing Catalonian prison officials and get out of prison and now be just living his life and have Janice, pretending that she's very sad and then meet up with him later, it would be John. So I wouldn't put it above him. I also wouldn't put it above the authorities to kill him before he gets here and spills the beans on everything.
Right.
I also don't put it above him to spend the better part of 3 years telling everyone he's not going to kill himself, only to do it just to get everyone all worked up. So I really like, because it's John McAfee.
It could be anything.
And John and Janice I consider friends of mine, and when you see John's history, he'll pick things to over exaggerate and then other things to downplay and under exaggerate. You never really fully, he created a lot of mystery around what was actually happening with him. So it's fitting that we're still all just kind of guessing what the hell happened. Whichever those things are, if any of them resulted in him dying, whether it's that he was killed, whether he just killed himself, whether they're now saying that they actually found him having killed himself. But even back when it seemed like it was possible that he was just a 75-year-old man who had lived a rough life and probably wasn't getting the best medical treatment in there.
Sure.
Whatever it is, he should have been by Janice's side. He should not have been in a prison.
And
the reason he's in a prison is because he was being extorted, and he refused to comply with the extortion. He simply wouldn't do it. He would not be extorted.
So yes, the government killed him.
If he's dead, the government killed him.
Yep. My heart just breaks for her. That's why I really have to believe in that he's sitting on a beach with her. Like, that just makes me feel better.
I hope so. I hope so.
I really do.
We
I
probably
hope
will
so.
never know either, because even if he did, he ain't gonna.
He's not gonna tell
if
anybody.
he pulled this off, we just
gonna.
won't hear from him again.
Yeah.
I think.
I think if we just don't hear from Janice anymore, that just tells us that they went off and are enjoying their twilight years together. Whatever it is, it's just there's no reason that he shouldn't be able to live free right now. And I know the allegations of other things that he may have done or whatever. If he did something to someone, if he defrauded someone, if he hurt someone, if he killed someone, whatever, he should be punished for that, not for refusing to be extorted by a government.
Right. Exactly. And people don't understand that. Like, well, he should have paid his taxes.
He should have just complied, right?
Yeah, just comply, everybody.
comply.
Yeah. So I know the last time that we talked, you were on the campaign trail. What did you do when it was over? Did you take a vacation, or a staycation? Did you sleep a whole lot? Did you take any time off?
I thought you said you were going to.
No.
You didn't do?
I wanted to.
You
That
did?
was the goal. the goal was I was going to get left the hell alone for about a month or so, and go and enjoy like the hot. And that's not what happened. What happened?
No?
I got a few weeks off, maybe 2-3 weeks off, where I didn't go anywhere, but I was super active on social media still. And what happened was, like, literally the day after the election, I had, like I said, I had people in my inbox. I had people that were part of the campaign team who said, "What are you doing next? We want to volunteer for you." And so most of my, in fact, it's actually bigger now than it was during the campaign. Most of my original social media team and comms team and events team are now doing all of that still as my volunteer team. And we've added more to the social media team since then, so that my team's actually bigger now, and none of us are getting any money. Like, none of us are being paid anything. And so on the strength of that, we just kind of, I don't want to say we hit the ground running, because we never really hit the ground. We just kind of kept going. Things slowed down a little during November and December. But I originally was planning on, like, going to Barbados or something, and it didn't work out. Like, I guess I staycationed in that I didn't travel anywhere for a couple of months, but it certainly didn't feel like I stayed, but I didn't do the cation part. So
the not working
we'll
part.
see. I do think this year I'm going to take at least 2 or 3 weeks off in December, but as I'm saying that, I'm sure it's not going to happen.
But you know that it's
it.
actually, like, necessary to relax, right? I just want to make sure you're, like, does your wife tell you that, like, you need just a little bit of time to take a breath and step back, and nothing's going to fall apart because you took a week or two off, you know?
Yes. So I don't really take a week or two off, but what I've learned to do, and I did this with my business too, is find leisure throughout the day. So and it doesn't happen every day. There are some days that you're just so busy, you're not going to have any leisure time.
Yeah.
But try to say, okay, I'm going to take an hour off during this to do this. Or when I do these events, when we go to these conventions, they don't have me working the whole time. I will take time off where, this last one in Michigan, it was at a casino. And so, Tash and I took a couple hours here and there just to walk around the casino floor. We didn't gamble or anything, but just to take a look at what people were doing.
Fun. Yeah.
I got plenty of naps. We had a really fun shooting event. We had a leisurely, we plan everything so that we get there and leave in a leisurely fashion. And again, that doesn't happen all the time, but we'll take days off. We'll come an extra day early, leave a day late, that kind of stuff.
That's nice.
And so we really, yes, I'm doing a lot. And yes, it's at quite an incredible pace, but I've learned to keep it in stride.
So
I'm
you're
doing a lot.
Balance. You're finding that balance.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so great. Yeah.
And it gets frantic occasionally, but for the most part, the reason that I'm always, like, fresh and happy and smiling is because I make a point of, like, when I'm at home, every single day I go to the ocean for at least an hour. I go and I either walk or take the golf cart down, and I go and swim, and I float in the water, and I lay in the beach. I enjoy it, and I get up and I go, I at my leisure, I get back home, take a nice shower. I take care of myself every day. I know there are people that think I'm just constantly on my phone, like, always on social media, and then I got to get off my social media and start giving a speech or something like that. But no, I actually do have time, like, a downtime in between.
Good.
I'm glad. Now, I love the water.
I try to make those memes topical every week when I have the guests come on, so I'm glad that at least you understood it.
Yeah. I love that one, though. So we have, like, the microphone.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like,
Dave does that.
I feel like this is fitting.
That's an extra special thing a guest gets when they come on the show. They get a cool meme.
I like it.
I love the water also. We're right by the Great Lake Erie, and it's something about, I was born and raised right, here, and it's so beautiful just having, like, water near me. I can't imagine being landlocked. But do you like to go swimming in any body of water? Like, will you go into a Great Lake? Like, you should totally come here and, like, go swimming. It's not as beautiful as the ocean. It's gorgeous, but it's not like, the saltwater ocean or anything, but it's really nice.
I'm happy to do it. I like swimming in general. Like, I like swimming in pools. I like swimming in the ocean. I like swimming in, like, the Gulf or whatever. Like, I don't, I prefer the ocean, but I also like, fighting the waves and like, bodyboarding
Sure.
into the wave, but
Do
coming
you
back.
surf
in the
or
wave,
do
so
anything like that, or the bodyboarding? Like, do you ever do any of that
So
stuff?
I body surf. So I've
Okay.
gotten so good at it, I can actually like just use my body and ride the wave back in.
Wow.
Like I guess like a shark. Keep in mind, I've been swimming in the ocean since I was like 6. Like I
That's
don't
great.
know, like I was the last of that latchkey generation where your parents would just let you go off and do stuff without
Yeah.
them. So like at 6 and 7, I'm going to the beach by myself and swimming
Wow,
out in the
nice.
water. It was very, very unsafe, I'm sure. But so I've
kids need
I've
that.
gotten really good at floating and doing the stuff in the in the waves and everything. Like, and I'll go out there for, if I don't have anything on my plate that day, like later in the day, I'll go out there for like 3-4 hours and just swim
Wow.
and swim and swim and swim, come home exhausted and just
It's
like
a
how like
good
a dog.
exhaustion.
Yeah, like how a dog, like when they're done playing, they're just laying there
Yeah.
with their tongue out, but their
Yeah.
tails wagging because they're happy. That's me. I
Yeah.
come back, I'm sore, I'm exhausted, and I lay in the bathtub recovering, and I'm just
Yeah.
happy. So that's my happy place.
That's so great. I love the feeling of after swimming and you're just like that good kind of tired, It's a really, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I get, because we had asked people if they, wanted to ask some questions. So if it's okay if
Sure.
I do that now,
Yeah.
Gary D wants to know if you have heard of Schaefer Cox and his story, because he is being held prisoner, well, in a quote unquote prison. And let
I
me
forgot
see.
to
I don't think I have.
on that one.
I have I did a screenshot here because I knew I needed to be able to read it off, but he is a political prisoner who is being held in a secret black site prison called a CMU, which I don't even really know what that is, but he's being held in prison for the charge of conspiracy, which means that no crime was actually committed, but it was in the state of Alaska, not a federal case, but they had this evidence that the FBI or whatever had these tapes that they said he was going to. The FBI informants had undercover recordings. But they're not allowed to be played in the federal trial. That he was going to kill U.S. government people. And Gary, are you here? Because I'm asking your question, Gary. But we got a chance to hear about that story, and
Jordan Page came on.
Yeah, Jordan Page came on and talked about it. But he's being held somewhere and being treated like garbage, and it's like there's no real evidence to be holding him there. How can they do that kind of stuff? How can there be these people that are held indefinitely somewhere else? And it makes me think of the folks from January 6th.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Dave told me that those people were arrested and put in prison somewhere, their own little prison type deal.
Yeah, they reopened a prison for him special for them.
How can this? So that's the kind of deal. So with Schaefer, he's still got I think probably 10 years or less. So to serve, and he's only 36. How can the government do that kind of thing? Also, look up Schaefer Cox if.
Yeah, I was gonna say I pulled it up on my browser so I can look at that later on. I'll read more about it and probably post about it in the next day or so. So I don't know much about Schaefer Cox, other than what you just said and the brief little bit I was reading while you were talking as well. But it sounds like what we see over and over again, and it is that there is an incentivization of arrests and convictions, and that's not supposed to be what the justice system is. The problem is they've basically gamified arrests and convictions. So it's not about finding justice. It's not about finding out if someone did something. It's about getting as many people arrested and found guilty and put in prisons as possible. And the reason for that is very clear and laid out in the 13th Amendment. It's because they get to use them as prison labor. And then they've now built an entire cottage industry around that. So now it's not just the prison labor, which makes billions of dollars for publicly traded multinational corporations that make a fortune off of prison labor contracting. But it's now around the corrections unions. It's around the vendors who provide all the services and goods to the prisons. and the entire prison system and justice and the police and everything else. It's the military contractors who get to sell surplus things to the Pentagon, knowing that it will then be brought down, and they'll get paid again for it to deliver that equipment and to provide training, which means now our police are being militarized. It all feeds into a cottage industry. And this is what I try to tell. And this is where I think libertarians can get a lot of people on the left, because people on the left say, we need to get money out of politics. That's great. You get money out of politics by making it where the government is no longer the main aggregate of economic development and demand. When you take away their gravy train, when you make it where the government can't just hand off endless troughs of money to billionaire cronies, you end a system that incentivizes, among other things, framing people, basically, locking them up, throwing away the key, gaming it so that when they do get out, they're almost certain to end up back in prison because you rob them of any real opportunity to be able to get ahead. They're not allowed to leave the state. They're not allowed to start a business. They're not allowed to get a license. They're not allowed to work in all these different fields.
Right.
They're not allowed to be able to apply for this. They're not allowed to hang out with anyone they knew before they went to prison. Like, all these things that basically ensure they end up back in prison.
Yeah.
All of that is built around a system of theft. We're all being robbed blind because they can. They can tax us and they can run up endless debt in our names. And until we are able to, we can make changes on the outside in, but we're never going to fully end it until we're in a position to end the Fed and to end the IRS. But in the meantime, we can do things like ending civil asset forfeiture. We can do things like requiring that states and that the federal government spend an equal amount of money on criminal defense as they do on criminal prosecution. We can do things like ending the military surplus program. We can do a whole host of things that at least cut on the edges and the margins of what the criminal justice system does. Another big thing we can do is require, and again, I don't know how much this applies to Schaefer Cox, but just in general, we can require that prisons comply with whatever the labor regulations are, including the minimum wage in that state that they're in. So if it's just the federal minimum wage at $7.25, that's already enough to make it unprofitable to use prison labor. And if they're in a state where it's even higher, that makes it that much more cost prohibitive, which immediately cuts off the monetary incentive of doing that. Ending civil asset forfeiture ends the monetary incentive of baseless prosecutions against people that they know they're not even going to get. These types of things at least cut on the margins. And like I said, I'm going to find out more about the Schaefer Cox thing. We saw this recently in Michigan, what sounds like a similar thing, where you had a core group of people who actually were trying to plot and were working with an informant to kill the governor, Gretchen Whitmer. But then what they did was they started going around to other people and who were loosely aligned with those people that actually were trying to plot something. And they'd get around them and say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And if that person said so much as, yeah, let's do it, they get arrested too.
Right.
Like, that's absurd. Right? Like that's not material support. Going, in front of a peer pressure group of people is not material support.
Exactly.
Like that's not, I mean, I can't imagine all the things I'd be in prison for if when my friends came up to me and said, hey, we're going to do this. And I went, yeah. And then I just never showed up, like, because they were right there in front of me.
Right.
Like, it's like peer pressure. Like it's stupid.
Yeah, let's do that in Minecraft.
You just say it in the moment, and then you like go home, and then don't go to the place that they said that they're going to go to.
Yeah, I'll see you there. No, it sounds good. We're going to go fight these people. Yeah, let's go fight them. Screw them.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. Like that's
Sorry, dude, my bike had a flat.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah. My mom said I couldn't leave the house.
Yeah.
Stupid mom.
Didn't finish
No,
dinner.
that's what happens. So when you have a bunch of people show up and basically peer pressure you into saying yes, and then they arrest you, like that's not justice.
No, it's not.
That's not justice. That's a federal government that is incentivizing arrests and prosecution.
Yep.
Because that's also how they work their way up the chain. They don't reward people for looking into cases and saying, Chief, I don't think this is real. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. They reward them for arresting as many people as they possibly can.
Yes.
So then that means that they'll go into a situation, and even if they find out that the original thing they were investigating wasn't really a crime or they have no leads, they'll try to find any minor infraction they can from anyone that talks to them. Which, by the way, kids watching at home, never answer questions. I don't answer questions. I want to talk to my attorney, and then shut up.
Yes. we want the Pop Brothers.
Pop Brothers,
to come on.
Yes.
Have you
pop-up,
heard-
yes.
yeah.
Am I being
I don't
detained or
answer
am I free to
questions.
go? I don't want to talk about my
Am I,
day.
yeah, I don't even do that. I don't answer questions. I like to talk to my attorney.
There you go.
And then just stand there.
And then
Yep.
you shut the
And then,
up.
yeah, at some point, if they don't say anything, you say, am I free to go now? Like,
Yeah.
because the more you talk, the more they're going to find one of those, 30 million laws out there that you inadvertently broke, and bust you
little
for
thing.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, the tiniest little thing. Of course, this is by people that if they do something wrong, they're almost assuredly going to get qualified immunity and not be even sued for it, much less
We
criminally
investigated
prosecuted.
ourselves and we found no wrongdoing.
Yeah, boy, that bothers
did
me
nothing
so
wrong.
much. Yeah, that really.
It reminds me of like watching football, and there's so many rules that I don't even know about, and they can just kind of pick and choose the rules that they want to enforce, and it almost seems like the games could totally be rigged and it could all be fake. I
Bums
don't
me
know.
out, man.
That could be a hot take right there.
I think so.
No, but it could. But for all you know, it could. That's kind of how our justice system is. It's like, yeah, you did this. Is that
Yeah.
illegal? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out later. In the
Yeah.
Didn't he
meantime,
do that?
if you don't, if you resist, I'm gonna kill you.
Right. Yes, you better not resist. Okay, so Tim W. wants to know which system that you think the public would most likely accept to be dismantled. Like, what do you think in talking
What
to
part of the
people? What
system?
part of the system? What piece? He called it like the Jenga tower. Like, what would be something that
Right.
the most people would say, like, we could do without that?
Dismantled entirely. I think that with the right messaging, we could almost immediately begin the process of dismantling the federalized, militarized aspect of the police.
Yeah.
What that requires is not just, and this is why I talk a lot about building coalitions, because what you hear a lot from a lot of the people that are focused on criminal justice reform and on police reform. It's good that they're talking about ending qualified immunity. It's good that they're talking about ending civil asset forfeiture. It's good that they're talking about no-knock raids and things like that. But what happens is they start to go down a rabbit hole of, well, we need better training for these officers. And it's like, no. That's an excuse to give them more money. That's actually the excuse that Joe Biden's doing right now. He's giving he has more than doubled the amount of money that the federal government is giving to police departments across the country under the COPS program. Billions of dollars he's giving.
Well, now
And
his press secretary
what he says
is
is
saying, "Oh, it's the Republicans that want to defund the police now
Oh gosh.
because they don't want to pass their
Which is
infrastructure
this,
bill."
I mean, that was a gigantic FU to Biden voters. It's like, oh, you know what? The one who actually is going to fund the police less are the ones that we told you were the Nazis.
Yeah.
And really, they weren't going to fund the police less. They were just going to keep the status quo. We're almost tripling it. It just goes to show how full of crap they are. But the point is that we need to stop the idea of hold them accountable by bringing more money into it. No, this is not a money problem.
Right.
This is the federal government is taking over policing at the local level slowly through
Yep.
things like the war on drugs, the war on guns, the war on sex work, civil asset forfeiture programs, the military surplus program, the way they're getting around the civil asset forfeiture changes where now the federal government steps in, holds the money for the state, and then just gives it to them as a disbursement. Those things need to be dismantled. And there's a large and growing group of people across a wide political spectrum that are agreeable to doing this. We just have to name and shame the actual problem. And the actual problem isn't just one policy. It's an entire holistic system that's been built around making cronies rich and subjugating the rest of us and robbing us blind to pay for it. And if we can do that, then we could strike a very powerful blow to the militarized aspect of policing and go back to, or actually go forward to, because this would be something new, community-based policing. Let that city or that community or that neighborhood, even at a private level, decide what they want their police to look like, how much they want to pay them, what their policies need to be, what laws they want them to enforce. And this is where we go into talking more about going back to the sheriff model of policing, where you elect someone and then based on their promise of what they're going to enforce, not enforce, what their priority is going to be, what their policy is going to be, as opposed to the the state police force that we have now, where the vast majority of police just work directly for the government and do whatever they tell them to do. They're not elected, they are appointed, and they do whatever the elected officials tell them to do. So that's probably, I think, the biggest thing that we can do. And it's a big thing, but there's a lot of different disparate elements that are all pretty popular right now. And if we can feed them all together, ending the war on drugs is becoming increasingly popular.
Yeah.
Ending qualified immunity is very popular. Ending civil asset forfeiture is becoming increasingly popular, even though the majority of people still don't even know what it is. If we can bring all those things together and say, these are all faces of the same problem, here's how we can do it. Get the feds out of policing, put it back in the hands of the communities, or actually put it in the hands of the communities, then I think that's probably the first thing we could truly dismantle in a serious way.
See, I thought that's where all this defund the police stuff was heading. Is that they'd be like, okay, we'll defund the local police and we'll just bring in federal police, and we'll just have it all top down. I was really worried about
scary,
that.
Defund the police meant vote Democrat and get more funding for police. Like, it was it was a good. So the actual defund the police, I remember, and I think it was actually AOC. It was someone who said, defund the police means have police be much more similar to what we see in well-to-do suburbs, where the police have a, at best, supportive role, and where, for most things, if something happens, there's a mental health specialist that's going to come out, or a social worker that's going to come out, and there's more focus on what people actually want, as opposed to just this enforcement mechanism.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was defund the police became a rallying cry for people who thought that Joe Biden was a lesser evil to Donald Trump. Actually, it was a rallying cry for people to vote for Bernie Sanders or Andrew Yang, or who was the other big defund the police progressive that was running for president. I forget now, but those were the main ones.
Yeah.
And then once they dropped out and endorsed Joe Biden, it was like, well, so it was a rope-a-dope. It was defund the police, come and follow us. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, Bernie Sanders. Actually, got to vote for Joe Biden because he's better than Trump. Actually, no, I'm sorry. When it comes to criminal justice reform, he's way worse than Trump on that specific issue. He's the architect of everything you hate. Yeah. But so it was a rope-a-dope. It was a giant FU to the people who actually wanted it.
Yeah.
But actually defunding, when people would ask me on the campaign trail, do you support defunding the police? I'd say I support defederalizing the police. I support getting the federal government out of policing and allowing your community to look like what police departments look like. That's a 10-second answer.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And that it makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Drew Simmons wants to know, he's here right now, about police unions. Do they donate a lot of money to political candidates? I mean, what happens when somebody maybe that you might not support wants to throw money, your way or so-and-so's way? How does that person feel? What do you feel like? Oh, I don't want to take your money.
Well, and this is a problem. So there's this old, and to answer Drew's question, yes. And it's actually way worse than how it sounds in that sentence. So we hear a lot, well, they're not in charge of making the laws, they're just enforcing them. Well, okay, maybe that beat cop is just enforcing them. But the reality is, if you combine all of the different police unions and lobbies in this country, they account to being the second largest lobby in the United States. They are the main driving source behind criminal justice policies. It is the police and corrections officers, unions and lobbies that are deciding that are the main driving force at the lobbying level behind the changes in law. That's why we have a situation where something like 80% of Americans believe that marijuana should be completely legal, and yet in the majority of states it's still a Schedule I drug.
Yeah.
That is what we just enforce the laws look like. They don't just enforce the laws. If they just enforce the laws would look a hell of a lot different. We need to end, first of all, we need to end public employee unions. Okay? There's no collective bartering between two groups of people that are being paid by a second party, by a third party that has no say in the thing. So that's not a real bargain. If the three of us bargain, but we've got guns to people's heads and whatever we agree to is being paid for by someone else, what kind of bargain's that going to?
Right.
What kind of negotiating are we going to do? I want $1 billion.
Okay.
And you guys go, oh, you're twisting our arm, but we'll give you $750 million. And I go, no, I want $0.9 billion. You go, okay, all right, fine. You got the best of us, man. That's Spike Cohen. He's an incredible negotiator. Like, it's not a negotiation when someone else is paying for it against their will. So there's no need for public employee unions, and police unions are the most acute and violent example of why public employee unions are a bad thing.
I didn't realize how big it was that, made up together. and they're making they're making them laws.
I had a thought. Now, this whole thing going on in New York with the what are they, the choice ranked voting, and obviously they screwed that up. But I was thinking about the thing itself, the choice ranked voting. How do you feel about that? Like off right away, just looking at it without thinking about it, I'm like, that would be kind of cool, like for the president, because everybody says I'm not going to vote Libertarian because he can't win. Now that would give you the opportunity to vote your conscience, but still
kills
say
the argument. Yeah.
If he doesn't win, then I still get to pick the person that I actually want. Well, or I get to vote against the person that I don't want, because nobody's voting for who they want. They're voting against the person that they don't want.
Exactly.
But it feels like that would give you an option to vote for who you do want.
So I'm a big fan of, and there are a few different things. There's ranked choice voting. There's approval voting, where there's no ranked choice. You just say you can just pick however many people you like, and you can just pick one, or you can pick everyone, or you can pick two, or whatever. There's star and score voting, which are both very similar, where you actually assign. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually give, like with star voting, like 1 out of 5. You give 0 up to 5 stars for each one.
Like Yelp reviews.
There's a bunch of different ways to do it. But, yeah, Yelp reviews. The that's the new one. The Reddit up and down up and down thumbs. No, it's I think what I like about ranked choice and all these different plurality forms of voting is that there's no real. The only people that lose out on this are the entrenched incumbents who don't want any real competition. I'm perfectly fine with that arrangement because everyone else wins, okay? The voter wins because they get to choose from a myriad of different choices. And again, if they just want to choose one candidate, if they look for president and go, I just want to vote for the Libertarian, or I just want to vote for the Republican or the Democrat, they can do that. They can not vote for anyone for that if they want to. But if they look and go, you know what? I like the Libertarian number 1. I like the Green Party number 2. I guess after that, I like the Republicans and then maybe the Democrats, or I'm not even going to vote Democrat, or I'm only going to vote, for Libertarian and Green Party. But you're right, it kills that narrative. You can't win, and so I don't want to throw my vote away. Now, I say throwing your vote away is voting for the people who created the mess we're in and hoping in vain that they're going to somehow fix it this time when you've provided every incentive for them to continue making it worse. But anyway, but that's a tough argument to have with people.
Right.
I'd much rather be able to say to someone, instead of going, oh yeah, you're being screwed in the good cop, bad cop, I'd much rather be able to say, okay, so then vote for us first and vote Republican second or Democrat second or whatever your lesser evil candidate is. Or vote for them first and us second, whichever it is. And if we don't win, then it didn't affect anything.
Yeah.
That would be
we
really
didn't
interesting.
steal the votes away.
That would be so
Yeah,
interesting.
we're not stealing votes away.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it. I like it as a concept. I like what it does for the plurality system where people aren't scared to vote outside of the two-party system.
Right.
I like that it finally kills the two-party narrative that you have to pick between two garbage choices because those are the only choices that you have.
Yep.
And then and again, it's best for the voter. And whenever I'm asked about, the For the People Act or any of these voting reforms, I say, I don't want to talk for a second about, voter reform if when that voter shows up to the voter box, to the ballot box, or their absentee ballot or their mail-in ballot, they're basically only have two real choices because it's been essentially mandated that no one else can compete with them. Because who the hell cares if we have universal 100% the easiest voting? All anyone has to do is literally open their eyes and there's something standing in front of them and they can just press it right there. Nothing is in the way of their voting. Who the hell cares if they have to pick from the two garbage choices over and over again because they've effectively neutered any other choice? It doesn't matter. So I don't even want to talk about voter reform or universal voting or voter integrity or any of that other nonsense, as long as at the end of the day, they're being told, do you want this piece of crap or this piece of crap? They're both going to possibly kill you. One might kill you slower. You have to guess which one.
They're going to kill you different.
Well, you see, now my grandpa...
They're going to kill you different.
Yeah, my grandpa, and he's passed away a long time ago, but my dad told me that when he was young and then my grandpa was going to vote, my dad was asking him, like, oh, how is it like, what's it like voting? You know, my dad's a kid then. And my grandpa, way back when, said, well, it's like picking cancer or leprosy. You got to pick one of them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how so many people still think. And that's so terrible. You don't have to pick one of those. Of this shit. It is not, it doesn't have to be that way.
So I think we
close
pretty much
to half.
Go ahead.
Close to half of eligible voters don't vote. And all the polling that they've done of them, some of them just don't care. Some of them aren't into it. Some of them, it's just too much of a hassle. They're just truly not. They're apathetic. They don't care. But the majority of them, the vast majority of voters that don't vote, when they're asked, they give some equivalent answer of, I don't have any good choices, or they're all the same, they're all a bunch of liars, whatever. That is what the two-party system has given us, where nearly half of the eligible voters just don't participate because they just suck so much. And really, those are the ones that they're already halfway to us. Actually, probably more than halfway to us, because we don't even have to convince them that, you got to fight. You got to give up on the lesser evil. What we have to do with them is show them that we're actually different, because they look at us and we're like, we're the Libertarian Party. We're way different. We got an L and we're gold. And they look and they're like, all right, but how are you actually like different? Like, what is your difference? Which is why, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, this narrative that we need to be relatable by not sounding too extreme or different than the other parties, that's bullshit and counterintuitive. Because first of all, no one is inspired by milquetoast. Okay, if I show up and I go, who's here to end the wars? Who's here to end the war on drugs? People start clapping. If I say, who's here to cut the marginal tax rate by as much as 7%? No one cares. More important, that's within the movement. Now, it's even worse outside of the movement. If I show up and I go, hey, I'm Spike Cohen, and I'm with the Libertarian Party. We have almost no likelihood of winning at all, and we're so much slightly better than the Republicans and Democrats. If you look at the Republicans and Democrats, we're kind of the best parts of both, mostly for the most part, and only a little bit of the worst parts. And we're kind of better, up to maybe 15 to 20% better. And we're not going to do anything scary or anything different. We're pretty much anything that the Republicans that have said and the Democrats have said that you like, we kind of think that too. And we think you deserve a third choice that isn't that great. Why would they vote for us?
Yeah.
We're not saying we're anything different from Republicans and Democrats. The only real difference between us and them is we can't win. So why the hell would anyone vote for us?
I like that. We had Jacob Hornberger on a little while back. It was after, and you guys were still running, I think. It might have been at that time, but... And he had shared with us, and I actually had a ton of fun chatting with him too. He said, how it's like you got to come out and just say all that stuff. Like you can't sugarcoat it, you can't water it down. You got to come out with all of that and be different. Be different, and it might hurt at first, but it's gonna bring people around. You can't water it down because then you just become one of the other two. Parties, so that I don't know, that was just a sticking point for me in my mind, and what you're saying sounds to me the same.
We have a false dichotomy in this party. It's funny, we make fun of Republicans and Democrats for their lesser evil, but we kind of have a lesser evil standoff in our party too, a false dichotomy in our party. We have, and in our movement, we have one side that says you got to be milquetoast and watered down so that we can be relatable and inspire no one. And then you have this other side that says we have to be shitlords. right? We have to come in and not just present our policies in an unapologetic way, but in an intentionally antagonistic way, right? You don't just say, the problem with education is that the federal government's involved. You say, if you have your kids in school, you're a welfare queen. Or you don't just say that government has made healthcare unaffordable and inaccessible. You say, if you think that you have a right to healthcare, then that means you think you have a right to the product of my labor. I guess you would have supported slavery back in the 1860s. Like, this is not how you talk to people who are legitimately concerned about how they're going to feed their families and be able to make ends meet and be able to afford healthcare, right? They don't care about your edgelord bullshit.
Right.
So both of these are uniquely terrible ways to talk to people. If you simply meet people where they are on their concerns, empathize with them and show them that you give a crap about them, then you can demonstrate that you understand how we got here, have that light bulb moment for them where they go, wow, yeah, why doesn't anyone talk about that? And then from there, you can take them on the journey to the most principled take. I mean, you could take them all the way to anarcho-capitalism if you want to, okay? I talked with union teachers in California in a live stream. It's still available on YouTube that you can watch it. And, they wanted to get the libertarian take on education. I went in there and empathized with what those teachers go through on a daily basis to the point where some of them were in tears.
Wow.
By the end of the thing, I had them sold on the idea of community schooling.
Oh my gosh, Dave,
ending
let's write
all
this down
government
so we can
involvement in schooling.
What video was this?
What is this you're talking to? California?
If you look it up, it's it was Pace for Liberty was who set it up, and it's me talking with PACE, Pace for Liberty, and it was me talking with some teachers, a handful of teachers, and an administrator, and these are California union member teachers, and the conversation was about an hour long, give or take, and they went in kind of skeptical, and by the end of it, they were talking about how, are you on our ballot in our state? Yes, we're on the ballot in all 50 states. How do we join the Libertarian Party? What can we do to get involved?
Wow.
And all I didn't do anything magical. All I did was I met them where they were. I had talked to enough teachers that I knew the struggle that they're going through with No Child Left Behind and Common Core and forcing more and more kids to be labeled special needs and all that nonsense. School boards unable to make any real policy. They're literally just being handed endless reams of new state and federal diktat that comes as strings attached to the money that was stolen from their communities that they're desperately trying to get back for their schools. They have no ability to be able to make any real policy. They're just trying to desperately figure out how to shoehorn all these new policies into their existing ones and still be able to provide some kind of education for the kids. I talked to them about that. And then once I showed them that I actually cared about them and understood what they were going through, then we did the libertarian thing where you explain how we got there and how our solutions fixed it. If I had shown up and said, the problem is the government is just too involved and they're spending too much money and we need to get government out of it. And they go, okay, but how are we going to be able to pay for education? I go, that's not my responsibility. You think you're owed my money? It's not you to talk to people.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a bad way of doing it. I sell people, and I tend to leave it a little open. I'm a little coy about it. I sell people on something between radical minarchism and just straight up anarchism. I do it by presenting it as taking all of that money and power and freedom and decision-making ability that's been robbed from them and their families and their neighborhoods and their communities and taking it all the hell back so that we have all our money back, we have all of our freedom back, we have all of our decision-making ability back, and we as the actual stakeholders in our communities can decide what our police look like, our schools look like, our roads look like, our libraries look like, our healthcare looks like, and so on and so forth. But you can't do that until you first explain that you understand where they're coming from, because that's just, we say facts don't care about your feelings. That's true. Their feelings don't care about our facts. You have to show them that you care about them first, and then you can take them on that journey.
Oh.
Damn.
I need a minute.
How do I join your church? You sold me. All right. No.
Oh, no, that was beautiful. That really was.
Yeah, guys. I remember somebody saying, like, in 2024, that's when the next election is, that there's like 3 people that might run for president I remember saying to myself, like, oh geez, who am I going to pick out of those 3? Those are 3 amazing choices. And I can't remember if one of those names were yours.
You thinking of doing the thing?
Oh, is that like a coy way of trying to get me to say? So listen, I
just wondered if you heard anything.
I have made no decisions for 20.
If
I know who's running, I've heard some things. No, listen, I've not made any decisions for 2024. I also don't really give a damn right now. Like,
okay, good.
Right now, what we are talking about is who is going to be the next guy or gal, or they, or whatever, the next person to get 2%, or 3%, or 1%, or 4%, or whatever, 5%, whatever. Like, who's going to be the next person to score single digits and maybe bring some people into the movement? In the meantime, there are libertarians right now who, with almost no resources, are winning competitive races at the city and county and state and state legislative level. And if we focused the same amount, and I pound this drum at every convention I go to, in person and online, I'm doing it here now as well. Yeah. If we put as much focus and attention and money into those races, we could go from having 300 elected libertarians across the country to 2,000 or 3,000. These are races that can be won with less than $2,000. Some of these races, they didn't even spend anything. They literally just needed a warm body to occupy this uncontested race, and they couldn't find anyone. And you could literally just put someone's name in there, and they'd have to consent to being put on there. That's called the Moulton maneuver in Pennsylvania. There are thousands of races, low-hanging fruit, where we can get libertarians elected across the country. And when that happens, we kill every narrative that people have for why they don't vote libertarian. Because we know close to 70% of Americans they want a third party. And that number just keeps going up. They want a viable third party. And we show up and we go, that's great news. We're the Libertarian Party. We're a viable third party. Why? We're the third largest party in the country and the fastest growing party in the country, blah, blah, blah. And they look at us and go, so anyway, like I was saying, we need a viable third party. What they're saying is they want a party that they think can win. You show them we can win by winning. You don't show them that we can win by consistently losing and focusing all of our attention and putting all of our hero worship in our losers. I got 1.3% of the vote. I appreciate all the support I got. I appreciate all of the people that are coming and joining me on this journey. I am not your hero. Chris Powell is your hero. Kalish Morrow is your hero. Jim Turney is your hero. Kara Schultz is your hero. These folks are your heroes because they got elected and then they got into office and made actual policy changes that are actually helping people right now. And those are the people that are killing the narrative that libertarians can't win. Those are the people that are killing the narrative that, well, your ideas sound good, but is it going to work? Yes. Here's how it's working. Those are the people that kill the narrative of all I ever see is libertarians arguing on the internet. No, you don't. You see them taking over your city councils and doing a fantastic job once they're in there. They kill the narrative of I only hear from libertarians for a few weeks every 4 years. No, you don't. You hear from libertarians every damn time the city council or the county council opens. This is how we win. We win by killing people's objections so that they realize we change it's a very subtle narrative shift from they can't win to, wow, look what they're doing. Man, they're really coming up. That Libertarian Party, I always thought that L stood for loser, but look at all the stuff they're doing. They're winning all these races and they're doing all these incredible things that are happening. And it's really not much of a difference in the vote change. It's our focus and it's where we put our resources and it's where we put our concern. Because from there, we are not a top-down party. We are not going to have someone catapult to the White House and then trickle down victory to the rest of the races. We keep talking down ballot. We should be talking up ballot from the races that we are winning. We are a party of decentralization and localization. So why the hell aren't we showing that in how we allocate our resources and our time and our efforts? You put it into the people that are winning at the local level. That works its way up from the city level to the county level to the state legislative level to the statewide level to the federal level to eventually winning the White House. And that happens simply by not caring anymore who, at least for now, who's running in 2024. I want to know who's running for my city council, my state rep, my everything else, because I believe we can get at least 1,000 libertarians elected for the midterms. In the April special elections that just happened in April, libertarians won 56% of the races that we were in.
Wow.
Let me say that again. In the last special election, libertarians won almost 60% of the races we focused on. Do you know how much money we spent on all of those races combined? Somewhere around $30,000 or $40,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We need to shift our focus.
Yeah.
I'm not ruling out running in 2024. I'm saying I don't give a damn who's running in 2024, and it won't matter who's running in 2024 until we get thousands of libertarians elected. So let's focus on that.
Shift the focus.
And honestly,
baby.
if you do it right, then it gets to the point where the local leaders are making changes to where the federal, who's in the federal government won't, as it should be, won't matter as much.
Exactly.
As it should be.
Yep.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't
It
matter
shouldn't
who the
matter.
president
Yeah.
is.
It should not matter who the
He's
president
just the
is.
executive, right? He's just that says, okay, they want to do this, do it, and that was his job. Tell the people to do what the people told him
It
to tell them
shouldn't
to do.
matter. It shouldn't matter who the president is, and yet where do we as libertarians put the primary focus?
Oh, ouchie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Alfred says,
Yep.
Spike over here making me want to run for city council.
No.
Right? That's
Do it.
though. That's
Do it.
That is the thing.
Do it.
Get in there,
And
man.
if you don't
Let's
want
get
to
in
run
there.
for city council, if you aren't ready to run for city
Oh.
council,
Thank you, King.
then help someone else who wants to. And if you're not ready to, thank you for that, King. And if you're not ready to, if there's no one running, just go to your city council. Go to your city council and see what it is they're doing and present legislation to them. Chrissy Wickers in Ohio, she's been working with people and going and lobbying as just herself with a handful of other people, and they have successfully gotten votes on and co-sponsors on bills to end civil asset qualified immunity and to end no-knock rates. Kevin Cohen, also in Ohio, has worked and helped to create a group called Accountability Now Ohio, which is mostly made up of progressive Democrats and Kevin Cohen. Like, you look at the board of directors, it's a bunch of progressives and Kevin Cohen. And he's in there working with them to end qualified immunity by passing a constitutional referendum that the people can vote on directly on their ballot to do it. These are things that we can do without even running for anything. These are things we can do by helping other people that are lobbying. For All Tennessee is a group in Tennessee. It started with 2 people. They have a budget of what was in their wallets at the time, and they've been in there for 1 legislative session. They've already ended no-knock raids. They already came this close. They actually had the votes to pass ballot access reforms, but the head of that committee illegally counted the votes and said that they lost it. But they actually came within actually winning it. Yeah, no, it's on video. He straight up broke the law and lied. But the reality is the point is they had the votes to do it. And that's going to come up again, and it's going to pass next time. They ended chokeholds by police officers. They ended civil asset forfeiture. They passed a requirement that all civil asset forfeiture cases, you can get a public defender for it, which kills the financial incentive to steal $500 from someone or $1,000 from someone. They got that done. They got what's called a legal duty to intervene. So if a police officer watches another police officer violate someone's rights or break the law and they don't intervene and there's proof that they did it, they're now committing a felony.
Thank you.
For All Tennessee, 2 people with a handful of donors working for a matter of weeks was able to get all that done at the state level, at the state legislative level. There is so much power that we have to do things right now. All we have to do is stop waiting for this magical Hail Mary pipe dream moment where we're going to be catapulted to the White House on the strength of a couple of very strong debate performances when they don't even let us in the debates.
Yeah.
Oh, Spike's going to bring us to the White House. He's going to get on the debate stage. He's going to mop the floor with Joe Biden and whoever the hell the Republicans put up. Or probably at that point, Kamala Harris and whoever the Republicans put up.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If we haven't built the movement up where they can't ignore us, if we haven't changed the culture so that most of the population is at least looking at us to begin with, we're never going to do any of that. So let's focus where we can win and build up from there. It's what we believe. We start from the bottom, decentralized up,
what we
working
preach.
in a voluntary manner. We
Right.
do not believe in centralized top-down, trickle-down. Why are we doing that? Stop it.
Stop it.
Oh my gosh. This is the
Stop
kick in
it.
the butt I needed.
Get some help.
But seriously, that's so true. Like, people wait for.
Did that go through?
When,
I never know if the audio goes through.
when this happens, I'll get involved at this point. When so and so, like I'll get excited or get involved. Then it's like
This man some oxygen.
this is. Yes, I think this is
That it's so obvious and so brilliant. That's That's great.
Oh, okay. Aaron says.
I saw that post today.
Aaron on Float says the Florida governor declined Kingsley's dad's clemency request today. What?
Not 9 months late.
Oh my gosh. What are we going to do about these corrupt-ass politicians who are getting praised for how they're dealing with their state politics?
We also kind of talked about the whole prison system and
I am
the
so
slave labor.
sorry. I did not even know that had happened today.
I'm just finding this out now, and we're going to put that up on the social media because all I hear is, DeSantis is great on the lockdowns. Well, he became okay on the lockdowns, but then
the
look at this
lockdowns
shit.
that he implemented.
Mm-hmm.
You've got King's dad, I believe his name is Michael Edwards, who sold a teaspoon of cocaine to his ex-girlfriend, who turned out was an informant, and he's effectively gotten life in prison for it. He was locked up in the 90s.
That is...
He shouldn't have gotten 12 seconds for it, but
No.
putting that aside,
Yeah.
even if you think he should have been punished for it, that punishment happened long ago. Like Kingsley's almost my age, and he was a child when his dad was locked up. There's no reason for this. And for the governor, the pro-freedom, I'm going to make sure that the schools teach how bad big government socialism is, and then he turns around and he keeps someone in prison, basically condemns them for the rest of their life in prison because they sold a little bit of cocaine to someone.
And hasn't Kingsley's dad been waiting for this request to be answered for a long time now?
9 months, yeah.
And then
Months.
9
months, yeah. Actually, no, more than that at this point, because we were talking about that back when it was the Vermin Spike campaign. So it's been well over a year at this point.
So what do you do with all that rage, Spike? Like, I feel rage right now.
Yeah,
like,
Mary redhead.
I
Where's
can't-
her rage on her sleeve?
I'm
So
that
she doesn't
Irish
watch the
girl,
news.
so I can't watch the news. I can't read the paper. I see memes. I find out what's happening, and then I'm like, I need to stop because this is
I'm a
too much.
Pollock,
Like,
so I just crush it down.
yeah, I don't know what to do.
Just work harder.
Like with it because it makes me so mad.
What I've chosen to do
Aaron.
is, yeah, I
hope you can see those comments from them.
And this is the problem. I can see it. This is political considerations that has nothing to do. And just imagine I'm not going to avoid your question.
Oh, that's fine.
What is it that we do about this? But just imagine for a moment being a person who has the ability to write on this sheet of paper here. This is junk mail, but you write on this sheet of paper and someone goes free. And you look at that sheet of paper and you go, I wonder how this is going to affect my vote count.
Not caring about the lives
Yeah.
actually at hand.
That's
yeah.
sociopathy. That
Yeah,
is
no joke.
sociopathy. Libertarians often get frustrated when we talk to normies and they say stuff like, what about the roads? What about my health care? Don't you think health care is a human right? How come rich countries can give people free stuff and ours can't? And, why can't we do this? Why can't they do that? And we get frustrated because we think about stories like that. And we go, you stupid motherfucker. Look at what they're doing to us. And you're worried about the scraps, right?
Yeah.
But here's the reality of it. Who here, and you can raise your hands, and anyone watching at home, I can't see if you're watching at home. Who here was always a libertarian? I wasn't. I was a neocon, and most of us came from somewhere else. Like, there are very few, second generation libertarians, right? Like Ovens O'Brien is like one of the few actually like always been libertarians. Like that's very, very rare. What does that mean? It means that people can change. When I hear someone say, what about the roads? Or what about healthcare? Or what about China? Who's going to protect us from China? Or whatever nonsense thing that they say. Whenever I hear that, what I hear is, I am interested enough in what you have to say that I actually want to hear an answer to my question. And I get excited about that because I can answer those questions. I know how to answer the road question, the health care question, the China question, the they took our jobs question, the whatever. I know how to answer those. I've already got them. My focus is on messaging to normies because of that. because we're not going to get Michael and the countless other people that are being victimized, both in jail and outside of jail with their criminal records stuck to them by this war on drugs, the war on guns, the war on sex work, the war on veterans who were sent to go and fight these terrible wars and then come home and be subjected to the worst form of healthcare. We aren't going to win victories for them and set these folks free by ourselves. We're going to do it by changing the culture in this country and in this planet for that matter. We are going to change it by having the majority, or at least a very large number of people, not just agree with us, but intuitively think the way that we do, because we've changed them over. And so that's why I focus on that. People say a lot to me, why do you always focus on the consequence of things instead of the fact that it's morally wrong? And I say, because normies don't care about that. Yeah. They've been told morality has no place in government. It's all about what you get or don't get. You have to talk to them that way. That brings them in. And then eventually they realize why it doesn't work, because it's unethical. And an unethical system like that isn't going to work. That's where my focus is. And anytime I start to feel like maybe I should take a break, or maybe I should take some time, extended time off or whatever, it's a story like that makes me say, okay, this is where I need to be. I need to be in front of people who've never heard our ideas before. I need to be presenting things that are topical, that may not get libertarians super excited, but they make normies go, yeah, wait, why is that? That's what I put that directly into my veins. That is what I live off of. That watching someone have that moment of going, oh, something is wrong, isn't it? And then you can bring them in. And I've watched it happen, I don't know how many times now. Yeah. We do that enough times, Michael's free. We do that enough times, the wars are over. We do that enough times, these kids aren't in the camps anymore. We do that enough times, we'll have real money that isn't controlled by government. We do that enough times, we end the crony gravy train. We just have to keep doing it.
It's amazing.
You're so amazing.
Because we didn't actually invite you on, one of our fans did, so we had no contact with your people.
We were so happy. We are so happy to have you back. Yeah.
We're not sure how long you wanted to stay, so at any point, we'll keep you all night.
If it's okay, yeah, you tell me.
How many questions? If you have, I can take like two. I can take like two more questions.
Okay. Okay. So our friend Jacob, and you might have been involved with the Liberty Memes $5 charity club at the point where
his teeth.
He had to have all of his teeth removed because he has the Ehlers-Danlos. Were you there for Jacob's weak-ass teeth? Okay,
those memes, my God.
I know, right? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much that you can just,
especially when it's one of our own. And then the gloves come off, and it's like, you get some attention.
He's curious.
I mean, he may have sensitive teeth, but his feeling.
Oh, his feelings.
For someone who has such weak teeth, his feelings are strong, man.
Oh,
I don't. Man, that was rough. I'm looking at these memes. I'm like, I don't like that. I find these funny. Right. Like I feel bad about chuckling at
but
this.
But he knows.
This is
he
bad.
knows.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What's his question?
With the brownies and all. Yeah, he knows. Okay, so but yes, this is his question. He wants to know what you do for MS to alleviate pain because of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that he has. He knows that there are some similar symptoms when it comes to joint and bone pain. So he's just wondering what you do to help, with that.
So I do a lot of physical therapy, like a lot. So when I'm on like Clubhouse and stuff like that, and people will be like, are you running? And I'm like, no, I'm doing because I'll sound like I'm straining and stuff. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing my stretches. So I do about an hour plus of, I'm doing calisthenics. I do a lot of physical therapy all over my body. I do a lot of stuff to keep my fingers limber and my hands and my arms and shoulders strong and limber and keep my range of motion. In doing that, when you do that on a regular basis, it stops the muscle knots and the lactic acid from building up. And so and I'm not an expert on this, I just know what I've been told by physical therapists. Okay. And so it helps to reduce the pain and the inflammation. I also have a very anti-inflammatory diet that's basically like a pescatarian keto paleo diet. Like I pretty much just have fish and fruits and vegetables and some nuts and seeds. and some like legumes, and that's pretty much it. Like I don't really have grains. I don't have processed foods. I don't have refined sugars. I don't have any of that. And so that keeps the inflammation down, which keeps the pain down. What else? I do a lot of supplementation. So like B12, zinc, magnesium, D3. I take a lot of D3, which I think is a big part of why I didn't catch COVID, because there are actual studies that show that that people who take D3 that didn't have, people that had
You're going to get us shut down.
Are we allowed to say this
no,
now?
I'm joking.
Below.
I'm kidding.
No, I mean,
Totally
there's actual
joking.
like scientific double-blind studies on
Yeah,
this.
no,
But anyway, so all that to say, so I do a lot of supplementation. I also do, and this is a big one, and it's tough for people with chronic illness.
Mm-hmm.
We're already stressed out just by virtue of the fact that we have a chronic illness to deal with, and the pain and the symptoms and the fear and the uncertainty and the frustration and the why me and all that stuff. And then in addition to that, we have all the life stress that happens.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I did to help stabilize myself was to focus a lot on learning stress management, mindfulness, meditation, stoicism, Taoism, anything I could read that was about how to get low and outside of, when I say low, get your stress down, get down here, you know, anything that gets your shoulders lowered and your eyebrows unfurled up, and all of that stuff, and gets you unwrinkle, get the wrinkles done, anything that can get you calm. And this serves me incredibly well. I've been in some very high stakes situations where, you know, I'm live and dealing with something on like national television or something like that, or I'm dealing with something very stressful during the campaign or during a travel situation. And by constantly focusing on just staying as calm as possible and allowing yourself to be present in the situation and just accept it for what it is, which is easier said than done at times. But the more you focus on doing that, the more you can get into a space where not only do you have less pain and less symptoms, because stress, I don't care what your illness is, stress makes your symptoms instantly worse. When I get stressed out, I immediately feel my neuropathy and my weakness get worse, like immediately. And it's not my disease progressing. It's just when you're stressed, you feel worse, whether you have a chronic illness or not. And so the more you can do that, not only does that reduce that inflammation and that pain and that the symptoms, but you also are just happier in general. And it doesn't happen overnight. It is a practice. It is something you have to practice and learn. And so those would be my main things is, you know, stay as active as you can. And if you can get actual physical therapy so you can get some guidance on what you should be doing, then do it. It's a big part of why I swim as much as I do. Supplementation, good diet, eat as clean as possible, and stress management. Those are the big ones. I think. And sun, go get out in the sun for at least 10 minutes.
Get in the sunshine. Okay, this is a quickie here question, and I want to leave with this little extra one. Okay, so do you have any plans for your 40th birthday? Happy belated birthday to you, because you just turned 39. Do you have any big plans for next year? Are you like, I'm going to be the big 4-0, I'm going to do this, or I want to do this kind of deal?
Somebody else is going to have to do that for him, I'm thinking.
I probably should, because I don't really see my birthday as a big deal. I've learned to leverage it for people to be nice to me. Because, you know, like people will like be, you know, they'll like, oh, it's your birthday, what do you want? And I'm like, well, since you asked. So, but in terms of like importance to me, like, so like, for example, last year I did the 38 for 38, and it was on my 38th birthday. And I'm like, I want everyone to donate $38 to the Jorgensen Cohen campaign. Cause I did like, I'm like, you know, it's my birthday anyway, I might as well leverage it. Perfect. And we raised quite a bit of money. We did pretty well with 38 for 38. But like, so if someone said, what are you doing for your 40th birthday? I'd be like, man, I'd love to have it off. But what's funny is I was in Michigan for my 39th birthday. I was given, so it was on the Monday. So I spent my actual birthday. I got to spend part of it hanging out with the new chair there, Tim Yao. He drove us back to Lansing. And then I spent most of my birthday like flying to different airports to get home. But you know, but that weekend I got to have fun. I got to shoot guns, and I got to you know, hang out with some of my favorite libertarians and stuff like that. So I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'm sure what will probably end up happening is my wife will end up like Tash will start talking with people and like planning
Good.
some secret thing and being
Good.
all secretive about it, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, something's going on, and I hope it's a birthday and she's not leaving me or something. And so then no, she wouldn't leave me. But I'm sure something big will be planned, and everyone will be all hush hush about it, and then they'll be like, hey, can you come into this room? And I'll go in and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, everyone's there or something.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
So,
They got a year to
before-
plan it.
yeah. Did everybody hear that? A year to
Get
plan.
to work.
Before we ask real quick about where people can find you, a mixtape. Something about a mixtape. There's.
No, you shared that first track.
Well, I shared it with you, Dave. I already listened to it. Oh my gosh! It's real.
So this isn't the actual mixtape.
Okay.
Now, what this is, so when I was in
Carries a
Wisconsin,
whistle.
Representative.
they gave me a gift, and the gift is, they gave me a gift, and the gift is this fake mixtape they made called You Are the
Oh.
Power.
Awesome.
L.
And it's
That's
not
badass.
real. It's blank. It's blank. There's actually no.
But
This
you can
one's
put
not
whatever
blank.
you want
In
on there.
Colorado, they had me sign. Yeah, it does actually have some songs on it, and a couple of them are on my actual mixtape. But in Colorado, they had me sign blank cassettes and then sign this fake certificate of authenticity that said
Okay.
this is a real fake mixtape, and those were blank. So I have the mixtape on my phone and on my computer, and if you want, I can play a track for you.
Yes.
I would love that. We would all love that.
Okay. All right. Here, let me pull up the track. So it is real. I just want to show this to you. This is like, this is a real mixtape. And just to put it in perspective, so I actually mixed these songs together. I had some like editing software where you could like take like beats from one song and mix it with like lyrics from another song and stuff like that.
This
So
is
that's
like you did this.
No, I literally I made this thing. So this is the Spike Cohen mixtape, and
Oh my
it's
gosh.
got all these different. It's got 40. I made it over the course of 4 years. So there's 48 tracks. It's
Beautiful.
like 3 hours long. I listen to it all the time. It is somewhere on the internet, but apparently you can't find it because a bunch of people have tried to find it. But I am going to play the first track. It's the first track from my. Hold on, let me make sure my volume's on. Yeah, this is the first track. No, yeah, this is the first track from my my mixtape.
My name is Clarence, and that's no lie. If you'll believe me, ask my mom. She's over there with that man she makes me call Dad. But he's not my dad. That's scary. My real dad ran away. Oh, Daddy, what did I do to make you not love me? Is it my obesity? Is it because I love the theater? Why? Why did you leave me with Gary? Thank you, Clarence.
So
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
Where did that come from?
it's real. So it is a real mixtape.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is it because of my obesity? What? Where did this come from? Is it because I love the theater? Oh
We're
gosh.
gonna play that again in the after
So
party. 'cause
there
that
Yeah,
is
we're
is
gonna
good.
play
now
that
the
later
rest
on
of it
Float.
is actual like rap and. The
Okay.
rest of it is actual like rap and hip hop and reggae songs.
Oh,
and
come
the
on, you
problem
gotta
is,
make a
so I
list,
actually
dude.
had some people.
I want to know what's
So I
on
had,
there.
well, I can make a list, but it wouldn't help because
He mixed
because
it.
I remixed
that's
all
right.
of them. So
Okay.
even though I can tell you what the songs were, it's still remixed.
Yes,
So
okay.
here's the problem though, because I've had some people come to me and say, "What if we do it where like we have, you have to raise $50,000 for or $100,000 for the Libertarian Party, and then you'll release it." Here's the problem: those songs, the vast majority of the songs on it, are late '90s and early 2000s rap music.
I'm for
So
it.
anyone who remembers what Tupac and Wu-Tang and Eminem and all of this,
Yeah.
if
Speaking my
me
language.
just saw,
Yeah,
if
you can't
me
put your
just
name on
some
that.
podcaster released it, it wouldn't be a problem. But if the former VP candidate
Oh,
of the
yeah.
third largest political party released a mixtape that has the N-word in it like 6,000 times
True,
and references
true.
to
Straight outta
violence against
Compton.
women
Yeah.
and all, like literally, all of that in this, especially in this cancel culture age, there's no way that I'll be able to be like, "Hey guys, it's okay. It's rap music." It's just,
Yeah.
it's so, I kind of can't release it now. But I've played a couple tracks for like people, you know, in person and stuff like that, and I make sure they're not recording or whatever. But we have fun with it. But it is real. It is somewhere on the internet. Okay. And many people have tried to find it and they've been unable to.
See, at first I was under the impression that your vocals would be on this too.
Oh
no,
man.
I don't sing or rap in it. I don't. Okay. I'm not in it at all. It's literally a bunch of like, it's Tupac, Eminem. I think there's a Snoop on there, Wu-Tang, some reggae artists. Busta Rhymes is on it. Cannabis was a rapper back then. Cannabis was one of the people on there. Fat Joe, Clips, Big Pun. It's like all in late 90s, early 2000s rappers in there. And it's really good. Jay-Z, the entire, like all the Rockefeller people, all that. Like it's really good. It's good music, but I just can't release it.
Sure,
can't put my name on that.
Can't put your name on it. Understandable. Can't put my name on it. But you get to listen to it, so that's. I am just so grateful that you came back on.
To it, and it's good.
Yeah, I believe you.
Thank
I'm
you.
super jelly. Thanks for coming on, taking the time out of your super busy schedule to be here and hang out with us, and you talked about some really amazing things.
Preached, man.
Yeah. Yep. This is one to go back and watch again for those who are here, myself included.
Yeah. I'm going to pull some clips out of this.
You know. Where can people find you if they're not on, like, already knowing where to find you? Where can they find you?
So my podcasts are The Muddy Waters of Freedom and My Fellow Americans. Those are on Muddied Waters Media. Muddied Waters Media is on all social media platforms and all podcasting platforms.
Including
Muddied
Float.
Waters Media, or you can go to muddywatersmedia.com. Yeah, it's on Float too. It is on Float. Float. App. Yeah.
Yes.
Float.app/Muddy Waters Media. Or if you want to just follow me and my political stuff, everything that I'm doing, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok for the kids. And I am also, you can also go to spikecohen.com. And if you go there, you can follow all my upcoming events. I'm going to be in this weekend I have off. Next weekend, I'm going to be in Mississippi for the Breaking Boundaries for Liberty event. Next weekend, I'm going to be in Tampa Bay for the Shoot with Spike and the Philosopher event in Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Then the following week, I'm going to be speaking at Freedom Fest. Then the following weekend, I'm going to be in Hampton Roads in Virginia Beach for I'm speaking at a Concerned Veterans of America event. I got a bunch of stuff going on. Follow me on spikecohen.com. Go to the event section. You can see everything that's coming up. If I'm anywhere near your area, come on out and meet me. I'd love to get to meet you, answer any questions you have, take selfies, sign stuff, all that stuff. And just remember, because this is an important holiday, and I just want you to remember, don't ever forget what this holiday is about.
Extremism.
Don't ever forget. Wait, are you not seeing that?
Your fireworks, guys.
Oh, hold on. Wait.
Oh, you got a button?
Don't ever forget. Don't forget.
Yeah. Oh. Don't.
I love that he has buttons too.
Yep. Don't.
Don't.
Don't forget. Don't forget.
Oh gosh. And don't forget for all the Karens in your neighborhood, everybody, make sure you keep your fireworks quiet.
Yeah, you don't want to scare the cats.
Because your Karens will be really mad.
Don't.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spike.
Exactly.
Thank you for your precious time.
Yes. Have a wonderful evening. Yes, it is precious time. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for your time. Thank you for having
awesome.
Thank you for having me on, and everyone have a great holiday weekend.
Thank you.
I look forward to being back on Liberty Late Night, hopefully sooner than later.
I hope so too. Thanks, Spike.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That does that automatically. Okay.
So much fun, and holy moly, I feel like I need to go back and take notes on things he was saying, because I'm just like...
Yeah, he gonna make this anarchist vote.
Yep. Yeah, what was it? Alfred's like, you're gonna make me go run for city council now. Like, really, though, guys? If we really want some change, honest to goodness,
Ryan Edwards, I don't know if he's still here, but thank you for setting that up.
Yeah.
He totally set that up. He's like, I want to see Spike on Liberty Late Night again. So he went and contacted people. He set it all up. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, when can Spike come on? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we're available here. And he's like, all right, give me a Zoom link.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's like, he needs to come back on. I'm going to do this thing. So thank you, Ryan Edwards. Thank you, Spike. Thank you, everybody, for being here and hanging out with us. Oh, what a great time. Oh, my gosh. Almost makes you want to vote, right?
That he would spend his time.
Yeah.
But he's one of us. He's somehow he's politically active, yet one of us.
Now, Erin said something over there on Float that if I'm not going to let that go because
What'd you say?
I think she said something like if 50 people share the Float link or something on their social media, she's going to release a video of Kingsley dancing like
Here
Donald
it is.
Trump. So
Oh, it jumps back. Stop commenting on Float.
everybody stop for a second.
Every time you do it, it pops back up.
Because I really want to
Yeah,
make
you
that a
guys.
thing. It's okay. We'll just post it.
I'll find it.
And
I
we'll
saw
find
it.
it and see like how many people are going to post to their other social medias about
Yes.
Float, and then we get to.
I'm gonna make something for the wall back here. Maybe like coming into the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make like another one of these,
I'm such
but with Float.
oh,
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would.
But I do want something because over here you see the F,
Ooh, yeah.
and you know what the F means. But over here,
Raja,
Hey, what's up?
Raja's gonna be on Derek's stream talking trash
tomorrow?
on Float tomorrow night. Yes, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm super excited. Yes, yeah. Oh, super excited. Raja, this is Dave. I don't know. Like, has Dave been around for any like when you were hanging out?
I'm
with
Liberty
the
Late
movies?
Night.
Yeah, he's
like
part of
on Float.
He'll be on Liberty. He goes by the Liberty Late Night, and I go by Night Mary. So, yeah, super excited. Oh, okay, thank you. We get 50 people to share their Float links on big tech social medias. I'll release a video of Kingsley dancing like Trump.
Oh, she went and found it for me. Thank you.
Yana. I appreciate that. Super duper. Everybody
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
make Float bigger.
let's make it happen. Yeah. I have to say, we
should. That's a great idea, Patricia.
Oh, yes. We love Float. We love it.
You're playing Flight of the Navigator too?
It is.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
It is our place to go to be free, you know?
And that's where we'll go after this party,
Yeah,
after this show
absolutely.
party. In about 9 minutes. So if you don't have a Float,
It's so easy. Get on the Float.
go check out
And they're not trying to track your information.
flote.app. We're going to
find out where you live. They're not trying to access your phone information. You know, like they
pure
just
anarchy over there.
You just get on there real quick and
Like Seth
it's-
says, that's
yeah.
where you go when Facebook kills you.
Yes, exactly. That's where everybody goes. Let's see. Oh, wait, Mary Dave question. Slyther, I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, Yanaha got on the Clubhouse. Okay, I said the Clubhouse because I'm such a fucking boomer.
Oh, yeah, find us there. We actually have a group on Clubhouse now. I figured out how to make it while I was drunk the other night.
I posted this on Float the other night, too, about how we were going to be on with everybody else on Clubhouse. But I really feel like the cool kids at the party are Float and Clubhouse. Like, screw everybody else.
I haven't figured out how to work the memes into Clubhouse.
Yeah, but it's
It's
different...
like, okay, picture this.
Yes, picture it, Sicily. No, but it's two different things. It's connecting on a different level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's only audio. You're only talking. You're not. You could change your profile picture to memes. Tell people to check out your profile. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like,
yeah. Okay, that's how they do it. Because they were talking about like guns or something today, and they're like, refresh your screen, check out my profile picture.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's how we do that.
But they're like apples and oranges, but they're both amazing fruits, you know?
Yeah.
So I really feel like they're going to be super great for the future of at least libertarians and anarchists, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes like I listen
How
to
do you do,
podcasts
fellow
during the day,
extremists?
and then I'll jump into Clubhouse and I'll just like listen to some rooms and see what people are doing.
Okay, that's what that is. I have
Pull
no
to
idea.
refresh.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And then I changed my profile picture yesterday. I was wearing one of Jane's plastic toys on my head, and I'm like, why did I do that? And I'm like, oh, I was going to bed early, so I was getting buzzed up.
What's this? Can you click on that? Because it's Aaron. Aaron, yes.
Yeah, go. Wait, hold on.
You go ahead, because you're
'Cause
the
you gotta
guy with
change the other
the
screen.
thing. So he's the guy with the mouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll show that real quick. No, that's just the original.
Oh, that's the original one. Okay.
Yeah. Bring that down.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, Aaron. I really feel like there's you guys can be
Oh, the music though, I might get in trouble for that. Oh, we'll find out. We have to keep talking over it to break up the
Yeah. Possible alliance, right?
And when we're on float, we don't have to do that. We don't have to talk
that.
about the music. We can just play whatever the hell we
can
want.
play it and listen to it and dance to it and not have to be all like, we have to talk over it. So, yeah, stayed up late on Clubhouse.
Derek, I woke up the next morning and I went to the room and you were the only one there. You were still there, and I'm like, "You there? What's going on?" And you didn't answer, so I closed the room. So I don't know if
Matt says that people fall asleep on Clubhouse. You know, like they're talking and stuff. You know, like being on the phone. Yeah,
you guys might not even know. Like, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. So you'd talk like we'd talk. We'd sit in your car all night, and your dad would come out and take my breakfast order in the morning.
He did.
Because he knew that like we weren't doing anything because we were sitting in his damn driveway all night.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, you fall asleep on the phone.
But we were like sitting in my driveway at my parents' house. We probably got there at like, and this is when we first started like hanging out.
You know those days.
So you can just talk for hours and hours and hours. And so we were sitting there, probably got there at like 1. So all of a sudden, sun starts coming up. It's 7 a.m. My dad comes out. I was a waitress at a family restaurant. He's like in his underwear and he puts on my apron.
Your dad's a character.
And he is a character. I love him so much. And he comes out with the pad of paper and a pen, and he's like, "Hey, 2 for smoking," because we smoked cigs back then. And he's like, "What can I get you? You want the coffee to start with?" And that's how he got to meet Dave. Yeah, yep. And I was like,
"There's a lot of
gosh,
memories.
Here comes my dad."
Look down at my shoes. Those things come with a horse. Mm-hmm. And teenage Mary's all like, "Dad, shut up."
Yeah. But you know what though? When you get older, you learn to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And my dad's hilarious now. As a teenager, not
Cringes.
so much. But super hilarious. Yeah, yep. All right, guys, I'm going to pee, and then we're going to come back to... We're going to stay on float over here.
Yeah, so you just hang out.
So floaters don't leave.
We'll do the outro, intro.
Anyone else who needs to get to float, get over there, because we're going to hang out, do a little after party.
And for all these people that just popped in, I should have said this earlier. There's still more than normal here. If you don't follow the page, turn on notifications if you want to hang out. A lot of times we don't have a guest, and we just bullshit with the comment section like we are right now. So do that.
Yes.
Nobody's watching on YouTube. I don't know what happened there. But thanks for coming in.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, you guys. And for those who maybe are going to sleep and not going over to Float right now, but don't forget we have Float movie night Sunday night. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It was a great show, Adam.
Yeah,
you guys had a fantastic time. Again, we were amazing.
Adam needs a button.
I keep forgetting to make Adam a button. Oh, that ain't what I meant to do.
All right, no, that's fine. Everybody else, we'll see you later, floaters.
Anarchy, turn off. Is that the right thing?
I'm like, oh no, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, now like, are you on Float? FLOTE. Get over on Float because we're about to after party over there. So yeah, so much fun. Yeah, if you have time, it only takes like
get a free Bitcoin wallet.
Less than a minute.
Free, but you get another Bitcoin wallet
to sign up for Float. Less than a minute. Yeah.
And you got to try out streaming over there because it's fun. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yes, you should totally do that. Yeah, because I know you're doing the Facebook thing, but get on Float.
We're going to after party. So we're gonna outro. We'll intro. Float will never leave. Everybody else, I'm shutting down.
Carl, did you just
make it stop?
Yeah. I love you guys.
Good night.
Personal, kid, but I must go all out just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series, I'm here to spill the real tea. You tryna dethrone me from spot on number 1, but you in the year you lose, so best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done, cause we only just begun. I review you, 0 vibe is gone. So come on, T-Series, looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. why you wanna kiss him. Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Oof. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 9-year-olds the world's a whole, your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now download the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just wet in their pajama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Support!
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. It's potty training time, will be so much fun. I help you with your training dance, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.